welcome to trumpettransfer.com. I am so excited for you to get into the weird and wonderful world of low brass playing. But before we dig into the bigger instruments, I want to review some stuff about trumpet that I want to make sure you know, and in particularly some vocabulary that I want you to make sure that you understand before we get involved with everything else. So the first part of the trumpet and vocab word we want to talk about is the mouthpiece. So the mouthpiece for trumpet should be one of the first things that you learned, because it's on the end right here, and we buzz into it to make sound. And that's going to be a common theme throughout all the brass instruments, is they all have a mouthpiece that we buzz on in order to create sound. So this is a trumpet mouthpiece. I have with me also a euphonium or trombone mouthpiece. It's a little bit bigger, and it's going to be a more relaxed feel and a lower buzz. So that's this one compared to trumpet. Very different in terms of size and sound. So there's that one. I also have the tuba mouthpiece. This is a significantly larger mouthpiece than either of those. It's a very different feel to your mouth and to that buzz. So we'll get a nice low buzz on the tuba mouthpiece. Very relaxed, tons of air. Compared to a trumpet mouthpiece, hard to switch back and forth. So that's the difference between these two, night and day, but it is in fact a buzz that is going to be the common feature between the two of those. Okay, let's talk about valves. So for trumpet, we always have 3 valves. They're piston valves. You may have seen French horn have a slightly different rotary valve, but for the instruments we're talking about, which are trumpet, euphonium, tuba, and trombone, if you have a valve trombone, they're pretty rare, but they do exist. Those all have piston valves. Most of them will have 3. If you happen to have a nice professional quality instrument, it may have a 4th valve. If it does, no big deal. 4th valve is just a different valve combination or an alternate fingering for 1 and 3. So if you're using 1 and 3 or 4, it's exactly the same. It's a little more in tune sometimes, but if you don't have a 4th valve, no big deal. These are our valves. So if I talk first valve, second valve, third valve, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Homebase. This is a word that pretty much only I use. I started as a woodwind player, so when I kind of get lost in the partials on the instrument and I don't know where I'm at, I'm like, okay, where am I? I'm going to find home base. That's going to be open, no valves down or in trombone first position, and the lowest partial that you can play, the lowest note. For trumpets, that's going to be a low C. For the other instruments, it's going to be a low B flat. So that's home base. When I talk about finding home base on each of the instruments, that's what I'm talking about. Embouchure. So embouchure is the way that we use and form the lips and the teeth and the tongue when we're playing wind instruments. So that's talking about all these muscles around here on the sides, up and down, all of these. So when I say firm up your embouchure, I'm talking about these right here. So here's a loose embouchure. Here's a firm embouchure. That's going to give me different notes, right? It's going to give me different partials. That's going to be our next word I want to make sure you understand. So when I say lower partial, that's going to be a lower note. Higher partial is with the same valve combination, playing a higher note by firming up your embouchure. Good. So that's what we're looking for in terms of partials. So mouthpiece, valves, home base, low C, embouchure, these muscles here, and then different partials within that. So the next video that I want you to watch is the overtone series video. That is going to help you understand how to find any note on the trumpet using that series to help find out what valve combinations you can use for each note. And once you understand it for trumpet, it's going to make everything else so much easier. So if you have access to a trumpet, please go ahead and grab one. I'm going to have you play along with me for some of the stuff in that. So please grab an instrument and take a look at overtone series before you grab another bigger instrument. I know you're so excited to get to those, and I get it, we will. But let's first tackle the overtone series with trumpet, and once you've got that down, then we're going to explore all the rest of those. So here we go. Overtone series, here we come.